Hello and welcome to this week's Future Auto Solutions live stream. Gordy, how you doing, mate? Good to chat to you again.
Um, yeah, you too. You too. I'm doing good, thank you.
Good, good, good. So this week, what we want to chat about is car dealerships and the five things that we think that they should be doing right now to help boost sales as they come out of quarantine and lockdown. You
Yeah,
provided five things, and we're going to go through those things. But if this is your first time coming across the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you're alerted to all upcoming videos. We do try to go live as close to 8 a.m. Eastern time on a Sunday morning. Sometimes we're there on time, and sometimes we're a little bit late. This morning was I wasn't quite ready, so we are a little bit late. But yeah, so please do reach out to us if you have any questions as you listen to this, or questions as you have for us. Do leave a comment in the section, the comment section below. Reach out to us in email. Emails on the screen. So here we are, Gordy. So five ways to increase car
yeah,
sales during lockdown, and I'm going to start with give you the first one. So the first one we have is realign stock pricing. What do you mean by that?
yeah. Okay, I mean, obviously this is probably a standard process and for most dealerships, but just as obviously dealerships have been closed, stock has been sitting for sort of 2, 3 months without anybody sort of going near it. So really, it's just going online to see where your cars are priced. Has the guide dropped much? Has the market changed? What we're finding in the UK actually is used car prices are actually gaining in price, which is quite strange. But we're finding stock levels are low to replenish, so it's actually forcing the price of cars up a little. So it's just really to see, don't be knee jerk and sort of think, okay, I have to reduce everything, or I have to sort of, but just realign, have a look at everything, see what's problem cars, and just really sort of, and that would be the start of your focus going forward, just to kick everything off. Um, Obviously your doors are being shut and everyone wanting to get the wheels turning and the business going again. But I think what, especially in the UK, we're finding it buoyant and people are out buying. So it's definitely a good news out there. But it's just about having the right mindset and being ready to sort of price your cars right and take advantage of the business coming after such a sort of delay. So
Yeah, no, and I've seen a lot of that in
yeah,
news. I think recently I think it was this week, I saw like Ford sales are down 35% in the quarter. Second quarter, I think GM down something similar. Tesla's went up a little bit, but in essence, new car sales has gone down. A lot of it is inventory coming through and delays in that, right? And
absolutely.
absolutely, okay, it has an impact on who's buying cars and where they're buying cars, and obviously people are switching to used cars. So I have seen, anecdotal evidence here in the US as well that used car sales are going up, our prices are going up.
Yeah,
And obviously we're trying to focus this on the dealerships, and so do leverage that. And obviously, if you're a
yeah.
customer who's watching this because you want to sort of get into the psychology of how dealerships are thinking, perhaps delay in buying, or do you think there's value to be found?
No, I think there's definitely value. I mean, at the end of the day, dealerships are really eager to get things going. So that's maybe why my point was they're automatically discounting, and then they've
Mm,
actually went, whoa, 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 wait, we have a problem here because we're selling everything and we can't replenish again.
yeah.
And actually, when we're trying to replenish, the prices and the auctions and the guide and everything else is going up. So it's just about before you have that knee-jerk reaction. And for a customer, I mean, there definitely is deals out there, and if you go in the dealership, you've done your research and done your homework, there's definitely deals to be done. Um, so yeah, it's absolutely it's a buyer's market,
Yeah.
plus for the customer and obviously for the dealerships to get things going. So
And that flows nicely into your second point, right? So change sales mindset, right? So
yeah,
how should we be thinking about the mindset then?
yeah. I mean, I think the mindset from February or when all this kicked off has been, everybody's mindset has shifted. The customers, the dealerships, the retail, everything has changed, shift, and you see online sales going through the roof. You see, different things. People's buying motives are going to be different. They can't travel, they can't enjoy, certain things, so they're going to put it in their car. So it's just about actually changing your mindset to being negative and being, what way it's going to actually impact you in an adverse way, but really look at it and try and sort of, what is the opportunities? What are we doing? What is our current, what is our current strategy of sales? Is there anything that we can adapt and adjust? Obviously, I would like to think during lockdown that was the mindset, and people were trying to look at things, and when things did get open again, that they were able to really take advantage of it. But it's just a mindset that you're changing, that the customer might not want to come to the dealership anymore. The customer might want someone to come to them. Just different. I have other points just to sort of really dovetail that onto that, but it's just really having an open mind and having a positive mind of, okay, this is where we're at. But I mean, I can speak for myself that I really hit the ground back running again from May. May, June, and we're going into July now, and it's taken the same sort of, it's steady, and it's, the inquiry level is there. So and being around the dealerships, people who are thinking and are being positive and are really attacking it are actually really getting the reward from it. So that was my shift. It's just really getting away from the negativity and the adverse effect, because that's all you hear when you speak to people out there about. They always look at you and go, well, how is things? Or they're tentative when they're asking you, and when you turn around and say to them, listen, things are good. I mean, and it's like, wow, they're taken aback. So it's just about changing that wee sort of flip of, of the adverse effect, but really looking how things are changing and how you can get on board and really, really, and as I say, it's in the points going forward. So
we'll definitely
get
come
there.
we'll definitely come to that, Gordy. And the thing I would say to people is, later we will get to a little bit what our philosophy is of Future Auto Solutions and how we can help you as a dealership or you as a customer, sort of in that car buying experience. But I would also encourage other people who are watching to go and have a look at our other videos where we go into really detail of the strategy that we use and how we are benefiting, how you're benefit from those car sales, especially as things open up post lockdown. But so you did touch on it just there. We'll move on to number 3. Remove obstacles and objections. So what do you mean?
Yeah. So I mean, when I'm saying that is, again, I mean, I don't know what it's like in the US, but all these businesses are open and gyms are open and things, but the protocols and the things that they're putting in place, would almost put people off going in to whatever you're wanting to go to, because you think about it, okay, I want to go for a pint or I want to go for whatever, and it's like, but you have to book a table, you have to eat, and you're going to stay for 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? There's all these things, and you're like, and as salespeople, what you're trying to do is create an environment where people actually want to come and see whatever you're trying to do. So, yes, of course, we have to be careful, and we have to be sort of sensitive to the obviously COVID, but it's about actually having a positive message when you're putting that across, how you're making it easy. Also, and it's tailed off into what we do is, how much of it can you actually do from and actually contact the customer in their own home environment without making them feel uncomfortable or feeling they have to put themselves at risk or feel they have to go and follow all these processes and stand in front of a screen and, and deal with someone through something. So it really just lends itself to what we are doing and how our process and how we are trying to, elevate the car buying experience, as we always say, for the customer. And also then for the dealership, trying to really make the most of that inquiry and, taking away the obstacles, taking away all the sort of, things that might hinder a customer from actually coming to an appointment and coming to see you, is really being ahead of the game and actually saying, right, okay, look, okay, that you're interested in this car, this is the car you're interested in, here's, online, and be interactive and really get as much out of that bit as you can. So when they actually come to the dealership, it's literally to see the car, where it's safe and they're not having to follow all this, and it's really simply done. And actually you're taking the customer on a journey, which they're used to, not maybe buying a car, but they're used to buying other things from Amazon or buying other things from other places. But you're taking them on a journey and saying, like, listen, this is what we're doing now and this is what we're implementing. And it's 100%, made my sales process and everything else. I mean, I think it's more successful in appointments. It's more, we've talked about it over and over again, but it really is. I think it's the way forward, and it's really what you have to embrace.
Yeah, no, and it's a great point, and as you did touch, we have covered these, but for those who haven't, quite simply, it is, our process is interjected into people's days in a way that provides them with an offer that they see they know they can afford or they know they can afford. So in essence, you are removing obstacles and objections by, introducing yourself through social media while someone's having their breakfast, and then allowing an individual to exchange information with, yourself as a dealership, yourself as a salesperson, and then create that and cultivate that relationship like you just articulated, Gordy. So
Absolutely.
there's definitely, and as you mentioned, like we've done a lot of videos and we will continue to do so. And obviously
Yeah.
our emails there. If you want to learn more, feel free to reach out, and we're happy to set up a 15-minute appointment. We can sort of run through some of those things. So your number 4 was positive sales team.
Yeah. So I mean, my that this is probably the biggest struggle right now. Because I mean, I can only imagine put myself in a showroom back where you have your dealer principals and your sales managers, and but all the protocols that they have to follow. I walked into one of the dealerships just actually I was going to collect a car, and I couldn't believe the things that they have to do to have a customer go through the sales process. So it's really about helping the salesman have the right attitude, that it's an attitude of this is what we're living in, and how can I make this really sort of flow and work with the customer as they come in, or creating appointments. It's almost sales prevention what you're having to do, and I can understand the mindset of a salesperson who's hungry for a sale and trying to get involved with the customer, and saying all these things sort of, so where I put it is having a positive sort of sales team, and it really falls on the sales manager and the dealer principal. But I also think then, maybe how if they were able to come on board on what we're doing, how that might actually flip the mindset of the salesman, where he's being interacted with the customer, as we're discussing, and how positive that will be, where he knows the customer's coming at a certain time, he knows what car they're coming to see, they've already agreed that they can afford this car, and he has the car sitting outside running, all cleansed and cleaned and everything else. He's not having to think about and go look at this car and go look at this car and clean every car at the same time. It's incredible what they have to do. It would blow your mind. So yeah, it's just about, if that's sort of, if you can take that away from the salesperson, where he knows that, this person's customers come to see this car, and you're able to be all ready and be prepared. I think the mindset of the salesman at that particular point would be completely different to the customer just walking in off the street, or walking in from a phone inquiry.
Yeah, and let's come back to that, because I'm curious to know what that experience is like, and let's sort of run through that for the viewer, and sort of run through the protocols that you've seen, and then let's look at the mindset of the customer, right? Let's have a look at that, and let's sort of
Yeah,
run through that. But let's finish off these 5 things, and then we can come back to that. So
absolutely.
so totally understand the positive sales team, and sort of that must be such a challenge. But number 5, you noted is embraced shifts in buying habits. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, yeah. I think I wanted to really recap on that. That was my sort of point, sort of throw that across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's as a sole trader, or as a small business person, or as a dealer principal, or car ownership, dealership owner. I think what you have to look at and really sort of embrace is that the times have changed. The world and how people do things has changed dramatically, and I can't see it going back to normal for a long, long time, if it ever does. I think. Oh,
Oh,
sorry
easy
about that
there,
there
easy
now.
there, easy, easy.
Easy. It's
That was
getting
a
too
cup. Oh,
much.
dear.
No, I think. Oh,
Oh,
sugar. Hold on. Sorry.
you're all
Sorry
right.
about
You're all
that.
right.
Give me a wee
It's all right.
second.
It's all right. Take your time. We're live. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. There's no pressure. No, so it's just really just to embrace the change, and really look at it and look at their structure in the sale. So if it's a marketing team, who's looking after the Facebook, and how they're using their advertising, and how they're using the interaction with customers. I think dealerships really, the ones who do embrace it and who do get involved in the online and trying to make that as a, I know that websites have live chat and all that sort of stuff on now, but who is talking to the customer with the live chat? Who is actually dealing with that person? Is it someone who's marketing and doesn't have a sales background? And, so it's just really about the dealership or the sole trader, myself, really having a look at everything I do and think, right, okay, is this, am I making it as easy as possible for a customer to make an appointment? Because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, that's where you sell cars, is when people actually come into the showroom and get in front of you face to face. So that was my point there with
Hmm.
embracing how, you know, I don't want to go over old ground and
Yeah, yeah,
everything else,
yeah.
but it's just really just the sort of the shift and change, recognizing it and really sort of saying, right, okay, this is not a negative thing. This is a positive thing because, this is a whole new avenue we're opening up. What we were getting before, we're getting, and we have our existing customers. We have all the stuff that everyone has, but this is something brand new that we can reach in our communities around us and locally, and really sort of get in touch with people and, as you say, get in front of them while they're at home relaxing, having their breakfast or having their
Yeah,
dinner or
yeah.
whatever they're doing in the day.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and
that was my
sort of
point.
yeah, and just to summarize, we've put together this little
Yeah,
slide here that just sort of summarizes everything that we've got, and it just notes everything. So, I mean, here we are talking about, right? So look at your stock pricing, look how everything goes, change in mindset, and this mindset is on pricing, it's on customer experience, it's on everything related to buying a car and selling a car. This is not just for the dealership, this is also from the customer. The customer expects to find a deal because they believe you've put out your stock for such a long time, therefore you need to get rid of it. It's going to be discounted. Actually, reality is showing us that new car sales are declining, but actually used car sales are, the prices are increasing. So we do that. And how do we do a lot? How do we get those customers in? We need to remove their obstacles. We need to remove their objections. And then the change in mindset of a sales team, right? We're going to go into in a few minutes. Just really, what does that buying process look like for a customer as they walk into a car dealership, and then how do we embrace that shift in buying habits, because the buying habits are happening, and we're seeing a lot more sales being processed online, as you said, Gordy, there, so that everyone looks at the Amazon buying experience. Why can't you buy a car like that? And there are companies out there who are offering this service today. So
absolutely.
we will do another video on how does a car dealership actually compete with that process, and sort of challenges. So coming back, Gordy, to what we
Yeah,
just touched on there, and I know this is a little bit of a this is a add on, if you want, or a little
yeah,
bonus material, that that folks can listen to. But so walk me through the process of a customer walking into a dealership today. What does that look
yeah.
like?
Well, there's two things. So when customers come in the dealership, when they get to the front door, they're obviously met with cleansing gel and
Mm-hmm.
people with PPE on. Then they're taken on a one-way flow around a showroom, which is, you know, they've got arrows and they've got cones and they've got whatever they have to do, and they have to go around, all the cars to get to wherever they're trying to get to, you know. So that's the first point, which I noticed. Each sales desk has a partition up, clear
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
perspex
Perplex. Yeah.
screens. Every car is locked, so they cannot get into any car in the showroom, outside the showroom, and the forecourt. Someone has a forecourt of 200 cars. Every car is locked. When the customer wants to get obviously into talking about a car, the salesman then has to come with cloths, with sanitizing and wipes, with thing, clean the car down in front of the customer, open the car, let them into the car. If the customer says, "Okay, that's nice, can I see another one?" then you have to follow the same process. And you can only imagine if
Mm.
someone's coming into a used car site, you know, and I mean, every salesperson knows and out there knows that there's people who walk from one car to the next car and then go, and the car that's not sign written or not cleaned or anything, they go, "What price is that one away down there? Do you know what I mean? Can I see inside that one?" It just seems to attract. I think you should put your problem cars down the back of a forecourt without any pricing or anything on it, because everybody wants to look inside it. It's like, but yeah, so I mean, and then also whenever the customer decides, okay, I like this car, can we go for a test drive? Then you have to let the car customer get in, take all their information, their license, their details, their everything else. They go in the car by themselves. You go in a car in front of them, and they follow you around a test drive course. Then you come back, and again the same thing again, and you're losing that connection. So there's so many changes and so many. I don't know if you were going on the site and you weren't really sure what you were looking to buy. And every time you wanted to see one, you'd almost feel a wee bit bad about wanting to see another one, if you
Yeah,
understand what I'm
yeah,
saying. Or
yeah,
I'm not sure, but and then you probably go, "Oh, listen, we'll just leave it today."
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what's going to happen more and more, where this protocol, there's no sign of it lifting for any time soon. Obviously, what everyone has to have to run the business is open.
Hmm.
So I mean, this is going to be a process that every customer has to follow when they go onto these big used car supermarkets or they go onto the new forecourts and to me this is where we're so strong on what we do is because at the end of the day the customers are already agreed and said, well, that car you have is lovely. I've messaged you when I'm having my breakfast.
Hmm.
The price is perfect. The monthly payment is great. Can I try for the finance on that? And also when they're coming, you don't need to worry about everything else. You just have that car sitting, cleaned, wiped down, ready to go, fuel to hit where to go, and the customer just comes straight on, gets in the car, goes to the drive, because obviously that's part of the sales process, but they're coming back and you're way down the line
Right.
of the sales process before the customer even gets there. So can you imagine the shift and change for the salesman from that point to the point where the customer wants to look around, not sure what car they're looking at and wants to get in this one and that one and running back and forth and getting the keys. And you know what it's like in the dealership trying to find the keys, the one they want to see, the
Hmm.
keys are never
Hmm.
there. Someone else has
Hmm.
got them away somewhere else and they're in a salesman's drawer somewhere else. You know, that is unfortunately the reality of, where salespeople are right now. So it's about actually really then, as a dealership and as a sole trader or whoever you are, actually looking at this and going, right, okay, can I take this out of the equation? Can I remove those obstacles and change the mindset of everybody
Yeah.
and really look in and say, right, this is where we're going to be now.
Yeah. No, you did a wonderful job actually, just allowing us all to visualize that process, and thank you for doing that. And I'm looking at it from
Yeah,
as a customer experience, like getting in and through that, and that's only you interacting with one person, right? And I
absolutely.
understand the barriers of all of that. But as we know, the traditional car dealership actually involves more than just one person, right? It's intentionally set up to actually be various layers you have to go through the negotiation process. So
Yeah,
say you do like that car and you go through all that and you sit down and that person who's been dealing with you, who you've gained that little bit of trust, right? All
yeah,
of a sudden they've got to go off and speak to their superior about here's the price. And then, okay, as a customer, I'm sitting there going, well, where's this person? Who are they talking to? And often it's unseen. You don't know where they go.
yeah. No, it's
So
behind
so
closed
it's like,
doors.
so who did they talk to, right? And then if someone else comes over, okay, so if I've got to talk to you because the person I've been dealing with can't actually hasn't got the authority to do this deal, but you have,
Absolutely.
then okay, how do I know who are you? And you've got to come over. Do you have to wear PPE? Do you have to do all this? Do you have
Yeah,
to wear a mask?
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
see your face, right? There's a lot of distrust there already, but then you go through that. And then if you really then go, okay, there's always that person above them who is like, he's the closer,
Oh,
he's the one to
absolutely.
do it. So
Let's
it's a
close
third
this.
person, right? So it's like,
Yeah,
I mean, can you imagine the amount of hoops people have to jump through? The
yeah,
emotional connection people have to feel. They must really want that car, and that's the only car in the world that they can have, right? And for them
yeah,
to really go through that, and that's how I would see it. That's how I would sort of emotionally attach myself to that
yeah.
process. It's going to be so hard. Wow,
But can you
wow,
imagine? Can you imagine from a customer perspective? But and here's the thing, right? So say they go through all that and they go, I'm just not sure. I'm gonna go home, right?
yeah,
And then they think to themselves, I have to go out and try and do that again for another car.
I know, I
Do
know,
you know what I mean? I have to go
yeah,
through all that again if I want to. Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? And this is the thing is what. And it's not that anybody's doing anything wrong.
right,
Do you know what I mean?
right,
Yeah, this
yeah,
is what the government are saying, and this is what allowing business to open again, and everybody has to respect and
yeah,
understand where we're at the minute. But it's just about can you as a salesperson or can you as a business owner or can you as really change and get involved with customers at a much earlier stage and without all of that going on. And obviously it's not a perfect system. When someone comes up, there's going to be something happens, but 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, you know, your the customers coming up and you literally come in, you go, that's the car there, there's the keys, go out and have a look at it, and I'll come and see you in a second. That's how quickly it is and how smooth it is, and they're not interested in what's all around them because
right, right,
this is the car that they've seen. It's still available. You know what I mean? It's great
right,
news. They have arranged. They message me and say, "Can I come and see your car?" It's not me saying, "Do you want to come and see the car? It's, can I come and see your car? Well, yes, I can take you in at 1 o'clock. That's superb. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
You're like, not a problem. Come on
yeah,
ahead. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And that is a change, and it's the biggest win right now for, especially, I mean, we didn't know any of this when we first set out, Steve, me and you, when we were
yeah,
talking about all this. We didn't know about COVID and about how things were going to change, and we knew it was changing, but it's just taken an acceleration to where it's got to now.
yeah.
Where you know,
And tying this back, Corey, so I didn't mean to cut you off in your thought
no,
there.
you're okay, you're okay, you're okay.
But tying it back to what we were talking about before, right? Remove objections and obstacles, right? And the process that we sort of unfolded is by the time they actually come to the dealership, you just said there's no other car in their mind because they're actually coming, and actually the car is going to have to tell them, don't buy me, rather than them going
Absolutely,
to have to make a decision, right? So they're coming in, and it's
yeah,
almost in their own mind, they're coming to buy this car. If there's something wrong with this car, the car will tell them that they're not going to buy it, not actually the process, and not actually the car salesperson. And that's where, that's why you say,
yeah,
eight,
yeah.
9 times out of 10, the actual car does get sold.
Because
So
the crazy thing is, Steve, before they've come to me, they've tagged their friends in the deal thing saying, "This is the car. This
yeah,
is what I'm coming to see. This is the one," because they know it, and they can.
yeah,
It's so easy on Facebook to tag someone, and then they already have gone back and says, "Oh, it's beautiful. It's
yeah,
really lovely." So I mean, they've
validation,
already
right?
had, yeah, absolutely, they've had that from their friends before they even got to you. So there needs to be something completely wrong with that car, or something completely, you know what I mean? Or they are buying that car because
Yeah,
they're not going to go home without a car
right.
and say to their friends, "Oh, they can get it. They can
Yeah,
get it." You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
it's like it's done. You know what I mean? So it's just, and it's up to the salesman then to really mess it up. But I mean, obviously, it's
These things happen.
listen, absolutely,
But
it's happened to me.
But it's a real emotional thing you've just noted there, right? And the other fantastic thing about it is it's all on your page. It's all on your Facebook page. You get to see all those interactions. So when they come that unless I do something stupid, I mean really
Absolutely,
stupid, this is done. Right?
yeah, this is done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
So
and as what I'm saying to you, I mean, 9 times out of 10 when they're coming to me, I've already got their finance details and I've already got a pre-approved or acceptance through on it, or we're down the line where the customer actually has a wee bit of faith in me, and obviously and a wee bit of assurance in themselves that, okay, I can take this car if I really like it, because
yeah,
sometimes people come into dealerships and they're a wee bit apprehensive. I'm not sure if my finance is strong enough. I'm not sure, and that's in the back of their mind as they're looking at this car, because they're
yeah.
going to they don't want to get too excited in the car because they're like, well, I need to
Mm,
make sure I can get past first, and a lot of dealerships won't go there until they've followed, as you say, the
mm,
process and
mm,
all the different people coming out and talking to them,
yeah,
so again, it's really about getting that buy-in from the customer and the trust and the buying experience. And obviously we've talked about reviews and everything else, what that leads to. It leads to a completely different buying experience for
yeah,
customers,
yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
think we've talked enough.
Fair enough, fair enough. There's so many ways to go, and obviously, but
Yeah,
but
no, there
again,
is
but again,
absolutely.
please, like if you're watching this and you can relate to this, be it one as a customer, two as a car dealership owner, or three as a car salesperson, reach out to us. We're happy to have these conversations. We're happy to show you our Facebook page, where this really happens, and provide real examples of these interactions that Gordy just ran through. So and happy to share whatever data you need to see in a sense of how this is successful, and demonstrate those things. So do reach out to us, shoot us an email, like the videos, do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're alerted to us every time we go live. And yeah, I look forward to chatting to you soon. So Gordy, great as always.
No problem. Have a
All
great
right,
day.
you too, mate. All right, cheers. Take care.
Enjoyment. See you there. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.